This is Raptor News. Look to the sky. Our redemption draws nigh. The government is gearing and doing everything it can to come up with a reasonable explanation of why God lifted us up and took us out of here. Everybody ain't going. And so today we're going to talk about the process of God taking his elect out and his people out, which are two different things, two different processes. And so basically, right now, I don't care whether you believe the truth or you don't believe the truth. I'm speaking the truth. We are on the cold side of planet hell right now. And it's about to freeze over in different places and stuff like that. And God said, before he takes his people out, he is going to flex his arm. What did that mean? It means that he is going to cause some major pain and damage on these nations where they're going to know that it is him who did it. And then they are going to release his people. But he himself is going to deliver a small group of elect. Let's get into it. Isaiah 49:22. Thus says the Lord God, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles. That means some damage is finna happen. And set up my standard to the people. And the people are the nations. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. But before they bring our people to Mount Zion, the promised land, God is going to handle their asses. So this is what they are gearing up for. This is why they're telling you to stay inside, because they don't want you to see our rising. They want as few people as possible to see that, and they're trying to make up something right now to smooth that over. Isaiah 69, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first. People say those are the ships from Britain. They try to do some mock exodus where they went and got all of these Gentiles together and put them on these Britain ships, said that these are the holy people, and took them over there to Palestine, where they are residing this day on fake-ass Mount Moriah. A fake people in a fake place with a fake Wailing Wall and totally fake all the way around. No, it ain't happening. So God says to bring their sons from afar. Their silver and their gold is going to be with them. So what they stole from us is going to be returned unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up your walls, and the king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote you, black people, but in my favor have I had mercy on you. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. So we are going to become a land with no walls. What did that mean? That we ain't got to fear for nothing. Before, Israel had these big, thick, impenetrable walls around it to keep the Gentiles out. Now God is saying, come in if you dare. Come in if you dare. And to the Holy One, because he glorified you, but in his favor he had mercy. Therefore thy gate shall be open continually, a land with no walls. They shall not be shut day or night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. The forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve you will perish. If they don't come kiss your ass, they will perish, says God. Just you thinking, huh? And those nations shall utterly be wasted. Isaiah 52:8. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice, like we doing now. With the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye. Eye to eye, man. So we're going to be seeing eye to eye. Right? When the Lord shall bring again Zion. So some of us are already seeing eye to eye. We see that we need to get out. We see that we need to take care of our own. We see that the world is the enemy to us. Break forth in joy, sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem, for the Lord has comforted his people. He did what? Comforted. So we are going to go to some type of comfort. He hath redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord has made bare his holy arm in the eye of all nations. So now he's saying it again. Laid bare his holy arm. That means flexed his power on these nations. And all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our God. Depart ye, go ye out from thence. Touch no unclean thing. And if I describe what the unclean thing is, people are going to be mad. Go you out of the midst of her, be you clean. Therefore bear the vessel of the Lord. For ye shall not go out with haste, nor go by flight. For the Lord will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your reward. So we're going to leave with great substance. People think that's the gold and the silver. What use is that going to be to us? No. The great substance is God inside your heart. That's the great substance. God within you, God with you. Micah 2:12. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of you. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. Then I will put them together as the sheep of Basra, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. A lot of clamor, a lot of celebration, right? All of us. All of us. Isaiah 62, number 10. Go through the gates. Prepare ye the way of the people. Cast up the highway. Cast up the highway. We know what the highway is now, the highway of holiness. Gather out the stones. Lift up the standard for the people. Behold, the Lord has proclaimed unto the ends of the world. Say you to the daughter of Zion, which is the people of Israel. Behold, your salvation comes. Tell them, Israel, I'm telling you, your salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him. That's God's reward, and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed. Redeemed. What did anybody else in this whole world need redeeming for? We need redeeming because we crossed the Most High God of Israel and was taken into captivity as a punishment. And God's going to come back because he never forsook us and redeem us from the nation, the Gentile nations. And notice it's just God talking about his people directly, excluding everybody else unless he flexing his arm on them. And they shall call them the holy people, redeemed of the Lord, and thou shalt be called sought out, the city not forsaken. God didn't forsake you. Isaiah 11:12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, a sign, and he shall assemble the outcast, the what? Outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Zechariah 9:16. And the Lord their God shall save them in the day as the flock of his people, for they shall be as a stone, the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon his land. And so they're going to come to our light of our rising, people. Isaiah 18:3. All you inhabitants of the world, all you inhabitants, everybody on this earth, says God, the dwellers on this earth, see ye. I mean, open your eyes and look. I want you to see it. What is God saying? Get out of your COVID houses and come see it. See ye. When he lift up the ensign on the mountains, when he take his people and place them on Mount Zion, he wanted you to see the light leaving you. And when he blow a trumpet, when that big planet come up, hear ye. People think it's going to be an angel sounding off. No, that's going to be planet hell sounding off with angels by its side. Isaiah 60, number 3. And the Gentiles then shall come to thy light, and the kings to the brightness of your rising, Israel. See ye, see us leave, hear hell coming. See us leave, hear hell coming. I do know what I'm talking about. Hell is coming. After the chosen ones are delivered into safety by God, then the nations will bring the rest of Israel, the Jakes, to Mount Zion like they are ordered to do. Isaiah 18:7. In that time shall the present be brought unto the Lord of hosts of a people scattered and peeled. They try to make it sound like it's Ethiopians or this and that. And from a people terrible from their beginning, he's talking about the Gentile, hitherto a nation meted out and trodden underfoot, that's you, whose land and rivers have spoiled, to the place of the name of the Lord of hosts, the Mount Zion. So that's you. Bring the present to Mount Zion. Once all the dispersed of Judah is delivered, then he orders them to attack Israel, and then he will destroy them and their militaries worldwide. Each one will sink into the hellfire. Sink. These people were having these dreams, these Gentiles. They do not and will not understand. They are fleshly creatures. They do not understand spiritual things. They're looking at everything from reason. They're looking at it from intellect, examination, physical reading, studying, but they can't see it from a spiritual aspect. And you can't make them see that because they can't see what they don't have. It's like a blind man, you tell him to look and he can't see it. As bad as you want him to see, he can't see. And each one will sink into the hell fire. Ezekiel 38:7. Be thou prepared and prepare yourself, you and all of thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come up into a land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have been always a waste, but is brought back forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Right? A land without walls, a land without gates. Ezekiel 38:12, to take a spoil and a prey, and to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited. So the nations are still here, and we in our land. But before we went to our land, something major happened that made them want to get rid of all of you. And so somebody had this dream, and I think I've told it before in some of my videos. And this dream was very important because they said they had this little thing where they was checking melanin. And basically, if your eyes were brown, I don't care how white you looked, and your hair was a certain color, and you wasn't blonde and blue-eyed and straight pale, they was examining you to put you on that ship. And the ship's the Tarsus. And they was gonna take you. Black people was loading on the ships, and they was delivering you over to Israel. What's gonna happen to them fake people over there? God is gonna flex his arm on their asses. You'll see. Ezekiel 38:21. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains. Who? Esau and Edom, says the Lord God. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. So Gentile is going to be fighting Gentile. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood. And I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain and great hailstones and fire and brimstones. That was that trumpet you heard from that planet. And believe me, I'm telling you the truth. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Some people say the earth is going to be tilted. And so what's going to happen is the earth is going to be tilted. Zion is going to be on the downside, and then the nations is going to be on the upside, and all of the brimstones are going to rain on them and miss Zion. We'll see. Ezekiel 32:29. There is Edom, her kings, and all her princes, which with their might are laid by them that are slain by the sword, and they shall lie with the uncircumcised, and with them that go down to the pit. So God said, them and their weaponry is going down to hell to be fuel for that fire. Joel 3:6. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, the Greeks, that you might remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them, and I will return your recompense upon your own head. What is he going to do? He's going to rain down great hailstones, brimstones, and fire, like he said in Ezekiel. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah. Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of the Lord's revenge, the year when Edom will be paid back for all it did to Israel. And so this is how God looks at everything for the Gentiles who don't want to get spiritual things. And I ain't saying all Gentiles. Some people want to get it, and they very few. Very few. However you treated God's chosen people, the slaves of the transatlantic slave trade in America, everything you and your people did to us, that is what has to happen to you and your people. When God designed the universe for people who don't understand, he created a balanced system with everything. It's balanced in the water, it's balanced in your body, it's balanced in the heavens and the earth. Everything is balanced. And he created it that it's fair and just, that whatever a man or woman or child put into the universe, that's what's coming out of it. So that you get only what you earn. So if you put hate and variance and emulation and wrath and strife in there, well, that's what has to happen to you. Murder, murder, murder is the king word of the day. Red rum got to happen to you all damn day long. You live by the sword, you're going to die by it. As you sow, you're going to reap. You know, however you judge, you're going to be judged. It is a balanced system. And people think forgiveness means that God is going to turn the other. No, don't work like that. God said, as you have done, it will be done unto you. As you have done, it's going to be what? Done unto you. Obadiah 1:15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the Gentiles. As you have done, it shall be done unto you. Your reward shall return upon your own head. Your reward shall return upon your own head. Now, how do you treat God's people? How have you treated the black man? That's what's going to return on your head. If you have been treating us wrong, then do something about it. You can do something about it. Now, you can go and say, oh, I don't believe none of this stuff. It ain't for me. Well, some going to be for you, and it's going to be the Midianites for not believing. Now, here's what God said. I will bless those, and those is Gentiles and the nations, who bless you, Israel. If you don't bless Israel, you a mess. You're going to be destroyed. He said what he's going to do with the kings. He was going to force those kings to come and serve Israel. If they don't come humbly and serve Israel, that nation is going to perish. Those people are going to perish. Everybody that don't bow down to Israel is going to be made humble. So he said he's going to make them bow down in groups all together and lick the dust of your feet. See, he made us come over and bow down and lick the dust of your feet. The favor is going to be turned back. It's not hate. It's not malice. It's a fact. Wait till God do it, and then you'll believe. This is Raptor News.